What's up, Internet World? We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Leroy.
I'm Michael.
And we're here to talk about The Last Night in Soho.
There's no the.
There's a the.
Okay. I'm just saying that just says Last Night in Soho.
I'm going to keep saying The Last Night in Soho.
Okay, that's
because
fine.
it is The Last Night in Soho, hence the title.
Okay. I don't know anything about this. I know two things. I know this is an Edgar Wright movie. And I know this was on your list of movies before the pandemic when we thought it was going to come out in 2020, right?
Yeah, 7 years ago.
Wait, what? Oh, okay. Took me a minute to catch up. Yeah. This is one of your top 5 movies you were excited for last year.
Yep.
I beside that, I don't know anything.
Good.
Okay.
Let's watch it.
All right.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. When you've got troubles, all the noise and the hurry seems to help, I know.
I don't know if that's going to happen. It just seems what it's setting up.
Okay.
Just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalks where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose?
What now?
The lights are much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares. So go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. No finer place for sure. Downtown.
That was a doctor.
What you know about the doctor?
Everyone's waiting for you. Everyone's waiting for you. Do you believe in ghosts? Downtown.
You're welcome.
I don't know what I just saw.
That's right.
That is
So here's the tagline.
yes, please.
A young girl passionate about fashion design is mysteriously able to enter the 1960s where she encounters her idol, a dazzling wannabe singer, but the 1960s London is not what it seems, and time seems to fall apart with shady consequences.
Okay. Because I was, and I maybe they'll further explore that. Just based on this, I thought, are these two different people, or are they one and the same person? This girl and Anna Taylor. Okay.
Because that seems to be her fashion idol, so
Right.
it can't be the same person.
Unless it is.
I guess that you'll have to watch the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Here's
know.
a storyline from IMDb, written by a young fashion student named Eloise, obsessed with all things 60s, as well as harboring a strange sixth sense, moves to London. Somehow she's able to form a strange connection across time with Sandy, a dazzling young woman with the dreams of becoming a star. As Eloise disappears deeper into this rabbit hole of connection with Sandy grows, everything begins to fall apart in the most surreal way possible.
Okay.
So I was attracted to this because it was one of the movies that Edgar Wright had said he wanted to do, and it was rumored to be one of the blacklist scripts.
Okay, sure.
If you don't know what the blacklist is, it's basically a number of scripts supposedly that would never get made. The movies were either too expensive or too complicated.
Wasn't Gemini Man on that list at one point?
Gemini Man, there's a bunch of them that actually have started to get made.
Okay.
I wanted to see what Edgar Wright was going to do after Baby Driver, and this is a sharp turn, in my opinion.
I feel like there's nothing funny about this movie at all. At least all those other movies have some type of humor.
So I wanted to see what he did. It's kind of like one of those movies where like you know somebody as a director and you know them for this work, and then they do something else totally in left field, and you're like, okay, let me see what you do.
Yeah.
Also, I felt like the cast was very interesting. So we have somebody new, this Jessie Lee, May Lee. I like that Matt Smith was in it, Terrence Stamp, and Anya Taylor-Joy. Those three sold me on the film because that's a weird cast. Like when you think about it, Terrence Stamp and his litany of movies he's been in, Anya Taylor-Joy, the new rising up and coming star, and Matt Smith. Like, I really thought this was a very interesting cast and a time period, 60s London, this time travel, whatever this is, and I was like, okay, I'm on board. And it was supposed to be released around Halloween. So
before you told me that, and I guess actually this still does work now. You ever seen the movie JD's Revenge? Just a blaxploitation movie. It's not good.
It doesn't ring a bell. I might have seen it, but
you can watch it on Amazon. It's a very subtle link, but there's a kind of a connection of a guy. His life has slowly been taken over by somebody else because of some connection they have, and that kind of reminded me of this. But yeah,
the idea of that you don't know what is going on, I thought was very intriguing, and I wanted to see. But just like you said, what is the connection? What is, like, when you read this, you're like, okay, this sounds interesting, but anything written down can sound interesting.
Sure.
Let me see you pull it off. And so I've been waiting for this because it was one of the movies that, like, you know what you're going to get with a Fast and Furious. You know what you're going to get with a G.I. Joe Snake Eyes or even a Marvel movie.
Sure.
I don't know what this is, and I'm very intrigued by it.
I don't know why. I think I probably mixed up things in my head, but for some reason I thought One Night in Soho was action. And I think because you had that movie on the list as well as Without Remorse, right?
Yep.
For some reason I put that together like that was that. Clearly it's not even close at all, but for some reason I thought One Night in Soho was action like Without Remorse. I'm happy that it's not, but yeah, just interesting on my behalf how I put that together. I'm curious. I say it every time, anytime something partially scary comes up. I don't do scary movies. This doesn't necessarily look scary to me. It looks suspenseful, and that has me excited. It's something I can watch.
So watching it, it very much looked. It had the way the creepiness about it gave me more of a Crimson Peak type feel. Like Crimson Peak wasn't exactly scary. It was a very moody type film. The way it was
that with
shot.
Loki and Jessica Chastain?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was very well. I really like. I like Crimson Peak. I love how it. I love the way it looks, it feels, the way it moves, and I get that from this film. The thing reason why I like this is because we all watch movies for different reasons, and we watch them.
Why you let me say One Night in Soho and then correct me?
Because I was gonna wait for them to do it.
They're still gonna do it now.
And
because I'm looking at Last Night in Soho.
And what'd you just say?
One Night in Soho.
Yeah. Remember when you said the Last Night in Soho and you were like, yeah. But
fair enough. Yep.
And scene.
Yep.
I think this is one of those movies where you're like, this is new. And this could be, don't get me wrong, it could be bad. Neon Demon, I'm trying to think, I was really excited about that.
That's with one of the Fanning sisters, right?
Yeah, and it was terrible. Like I hated it. And there were a couple of cool moments in the film, but I hated it. But I gave it a shot.
Yeah.
And it's one of those movies where I'm like, this could be bad.
Yeah.
It's Edgar Wright. I want to see exactly what he comes up with it. Look, let's give it a shot. I mean, he's done some pretty cool movies in the past.
Yeah.
And everything that he's done, I don't want to say it's changed the genre, but it's added something to Baby Driver, the heist movie, Car Chase. Then you have Scott Pilgrim. When you think about Scott Pilgrim and what he did at the time, Scott Pilgrim is so underrated. It's criminal.
I think a lot of people. Well, I think a lot of people maybe because there was so much publicity and like buzz around it when they had a screening for it at Comic-Con. And maybe that like adversely hurt it because people were like, "Oh, it's gonna do well because of what Comic-Con crap was." I don't know. I think it was a fun movie.
I think part of what it is that it was such a weird property that it didn't gather mainstream, and just because we like something doesn't mean the rest of the world will like it.
Sure.
Like I love Blade Runner 2049. The rest of the world did. It's like we ain't never getting a sequel in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where I think when he does a movie, he brings something different to the genre that we have never seen before. And I would like to see what he brings to the thriller horror as an auteur.
Yeah. So let us know what your favorite Edgar Wright movie is in the comments too, as you roast me for not getting the title right. You can also find us on...
What's it called?
Last Night in Soho. I had to think about it for a second. I really wasn't going to mess up again. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, WTX.com, and we're out.